Woo! Happy Cocktober, everybody!
I hate it.
Also, I know I f***ed up. I should have painted my face green before I put the shirt on. Table number 69, your order of sexy broccoli is ready. To everyone with religious trauma, I hope this heals you. That's the dedication to what I understand to be VeggieTales, fanfiction, erotic smut, yaoi. What the hell's yaoi? In this book, we have our main character, Emily, who's down on her luck. She's living in a trailer, no job, no money, no bitches. She just left an abusive relationship, so good for her. Honestly, good for her. 5 years. In her own words, she finally had enough with her deadbeat boyfriend who wasted 5 years of her life making her feel worthless. We start the story here, where I am, right now. Done with the bullshit and finally ready to start over and make a better life for myself. She's throwing her hair up in a messy bun, putting on some gangster rap, and handling shit.
Everything is blue.
Luckily for Emily, she finds an open job position in the newspaper because she is so poor. She doesn't have internet. She doesn't have a phone. She's flopping. Help wanted. Live in parish cook. Remote rural location. I nearly poop my pants. Not me, Emily. I sure as shit don't know what a parish is and don't have any way to Google it because, again, no Wi-Fi, no phone, no computer, no bitches. But for a remote rural live-in cook job, I'd work just about anywhere. And then she goes on to say she's gonna suck a whole bunch of penises or something. I have half a mind to ask whoever picks up the phone whose dick I have to suck to get the position because I most definitely will suck a few penises.
All right, me too, girl.
The next chapter, chapter 2, is in Robert's position, who is one of the priests at this parish. We're also introduced to his parish priest partner, not gay, well, not yet, Laurent. Laurent? I don't know. Robert! Oh, Robert! He falls against me, out of breath and gripping my shoulder. Look at me, I'm a mess! He throws the back of his hand over his eyes. What will the patrons think when they see my incurable bedhead? To that, I just wrote in the margins. We learn that Robert and Laurent have been friends since seminary school. Seminary school. We've never been afraid to touch each other in a friendly manner, rubbing shoulders, fake sincere kisses on the head, arms intertwined, normal bloke exchanges, which to be honest, you know, being like a gay boy in middle school, yeah, the boys who weren't acting gay with one another, they were the gay ones. Because as we all know, the straightest thing that a man can do is act gay. Because men are dumb as hell. I can't deny the zap of electricity that zips through me every time his skin meets mine, but I attribute the sensation to the lack of physical touch in my 15 years as a priest and even more before that. I'm not gay. I'm not gay, you guys. I swear to God, I'm not gay. I'm not fucking gay. Don't you fucking say that to me. Because I'm not. I never enjoyed my romantic relationships with women, however fleeting they may have been. Making the decision to become a priest, to flee a life of disparity and sin, an easy choice. Also, it has nothing to do with the fact that I might be gay, because I'm not. I'm not fucking gay. Don't even fucking say that about me. I'm not gay. How can I be gay? I'm like the straightest guy alive. We then meet Gail, who is the parish administrator. I guess she just like takes care of everything except for the cooking. For some reason, I just wrote GILF situation. I really hope she's involved in some of the fucking, of course. Yeah, I'm also picturing her as Helen Mirren. Emily gets to the parish. She meets Gail. She then meets Robert and Laurent and is so turned on by them. So much so that night she just has the most insane sex dream maybe ever, where Father Laurent's member is just a cucumber. Even though, like, the witches, now that I think about that, the witch's curse, whatever, we'll get to the witch. We then switch to Laurent's perspective, and he is giving a sermon on Sunday at the church, as a priest does, you know, I don't know. But at the end of this session, I don't know, I haven't been to church since I was a kid, so I really don't know what to call these things. The sanctuary is empty now. Robert and I start to close the large 10-foot wooden doors. Before we shut them completely, a frail voice sounds behind us. I don't think you'd want me trapped in here with you boys. Oh my God. What the fuck? So they turn around to see this busted old lady covered in boils wearing a dark cloak. Immediately, for whatever reason, my mind immediately pictures Jeffree Star. Robert offers to drive Jeffree home, to which he responds, I can take care of myself. You two, though, you both need some help. Hi, how are you? Jeffree then does some fucking incantations to that, saying,
Night is the harvest moon, where spirits come to play. All that is hidden will be brought to light. You two need a transformation. It's up to you both to define the true fruits of your soul.
I am shook the house. Houston, I'm deceased. So then later on, Robert, he's struggling with his sexuality. He's sitting in a field and he's like, oh my God, I'm just contemplating, why I gotta be so fucking gay? He's not saying that, but he's kind of just like, damn, I'm gay. Then Laurent pops out of the bushes and he's like, you have been disobedient. To amend your sins, you must obey every command of your brother, Laurent. And then Robert's like, oh, fuck off, blah, blah. It's playing a prank. Laurent's real funny. Laurent, he doesn't take anything too seriously. Robert, on the other hand, he's got to stick up his ass as well as a couple of dicks. Yes. Yes. So while Robert is struggling with temptation, he's real attracted to Emily as well. This is like a real love triangle, y'all. I appreciated that so much in a story. People throw around the word love triangle like crazy when 9.9 times out of 10, it's a love arrow. Peter, Gail, and Katniss, that is not a love triangle. That's a love arrow because Peeta and Gail are not fucking on each other. There's a gap. There's a missing link. And I will not have it anymore. But in this book, yeah, Robert and Laurent, they are very attracted to each other in a very homoerotic type of way. But then Laurent is like, honestly, man, like, as long as you don't act on it, it's fine. It's fine. We're men. We have temptations. And Emily, she's got big boobs. So this has Robert thinking, and do you know what? If there's any theologists in the chat, let me know. But he's thinking, you know, Laurent, he does have a point. It's not a sin to be distracted. It's not a sin to want to calling me her God, worshiping me as a It's not even a sin to wish Laurent was there too, to have them both take turns. I can withstand temptation no matter how hard. And right now, I'm definitely hard. Can you believe that some people are in medical school? Then the two of them fall asleep and they wake up. Laurent is now a cucumber while Robert is a tomato. I tell myself to breathe, but it's no use. Something moves above me, stealing all the oxygen from my lungs. It's a hand, a giant hand, reaching down for me. It's not until the fingertips grip my skin that I realize it. The giant isn't grabbing my skin at all. No, I don't have normal flesh anymore. My body is hard and firm. Oh my God, am I dead? Is my body already experiencing rigor mortis? And now I'm trapped in a lifeless corpse? Maybe this giant is a god, taking me to the afterlife. But then she brings me to her face and I make her out. It's a god, all right. It's Emily! Then he looks over. Mind you, he's a tomato. He doesn't have eyes. I don't know how he's seeing anything, but I guess I'm a broccoli. I'm a sexy broccoli. I can see fine. So Laurent looks over at Emily's other hand and sees a tomato in it. And he thinks, that's not a tomato at all. That's Robert. I could recognize him in any form because he loves him so much that if he turned into a tomato, it's like that thing that y'all were, the girls were always saying like, would you love me if I was still a worm? If I was still a worm, would you love me if I was a worm? But it's like, you would have to get your man to recognize you as a worm if you turned into a worm. And that's why I think women could never be president. So then Emily immediately takes this cucumber and tomato inside and just pleasures herself with them. She has sex with the cucumber and the tomato. Yes. Mind you, also, it's her second day. Then she wakes up and Laurent and Robert are back to being humans. They're laying at the foot of her bed. Then they have a congregation. Isn't that like a religious term? Of sort, something. So then what the three of them decide is when Robert is a tomato and Laurent is a cucumber, because if you don't know, priests, they don't do, they're not intimate, they're celibate, they're completely celibate. Fucking sucks. That's a horrible life and nothing like me. Because yeah, I fuck all the time. But while they are vegetables, Emily is allowed to take advantage of them because they're like, okay, it's like the anal thing. They're like, okay, well, we're not priests when we're cucumbers and tomatoes. We're cucumbers and tomatoes. So. But from this interaction, from this conversation, we learn a little bit more about poor Laurent and his internal battle. Because so Laurent, he struggled a lot in his youth. And then he went to seminary school, met Robert, fell in love with Robert. The reason why he is a priest is because he loves Robert. But Robert, he's trying to be a good priest. He's trying to be a good Catholic boy. He doesn't like that gay shit. And Laurent is praying for this to be kind of a breakthrough for Robert. He says, I hoped he would see what's between us. The feeling so strong that it's sucking another person in our orbit. That shit makes no fucking sense, first of all. What the hell are you talking about? We're so in love with each other that somebody else is also in love with us. I don't know. But then they turn into vegetables again. This time, though, this is a real cool feature. There was an update in the Cucumber software, and he can vibrate now. And Emily cannot resist that temptation. And this comes... You better work. With a little bit of a breakthrough for Robert, who believes that God is the one who turned us into vegetables. He did it for us to experience and give pleasure, to be connected to another person. Everything's coming together. This is my destiny. To be a fucking tomato. Laurent is still struggling a little bit because his ass does not want to be a priest. Y'all, he's been living there for 15 years. It's very clear that Laurent just wants to be like a normal gay couple with Robert, but the whole God thing's getting in the way. So he delivers a horrible sermon. Robert's watching from the pews, and he's like, dude, why the fuck did you do that? That was awful. And guess what? Bishop Archibald, their boss, was in the audience. You're fired. Bishop Archibald gives an unamused smirk, shaking his head at the two of us. Archibald has always been a hard ass, critiquing us over our sermons running short or a wrinkle in our robes. Also, by the way, Bishop Archibald in my head is played by Tati. Like sucking dick and cock, Tati. And you did it at my birthday dinner, Tati. But she's like wearing a really bad, like, gray beard. Like a horrible wig.
Like, I'm just like, oh my God.
So Tati reprimands them, says, you guys are on thin ice. You boys aren't giving Catholicism very good PR. As if the movie Spotlight doesn't exist. After this, though, there is a really amazing scene between the two priests where Laurent says, hold on, let me drop into character real quick. Cue the sad piano music. I've waited. I've been good. I've done everything you asked. I joined the seminary because I was looking for something more, something to follow. Make sure to follow my IG. I know you are devoted. This is it for you. I've always respected that. In fact, I admired you for it. But we finally have something to fulfill our needs. Please don't take that away from me. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked for more. And then Robert delivers a pretty emotional monologue in response. Cue the sad music. Do you think you're the only tortured soul to exist? You think I don't have urges that run my thoughts? You haven't been good. You haven't been respectful. Every breath you take tempts me. Every movement you make brings me closer to the edge of my breaking point. I've always barely held on by a thread. And then this miracle or curse or whatever it is happened, and I thought maybe it was a gift from God for resisting you for all these years. But it's obviously too much for us. I don't want to be without you, Laurent. So, yeah, Robert confesses his love to Laurent. I don't know where the hell Emily's at. She's in the garden fucking herself with a squash. She got a whole squash up her ass. Oh, wait. Emily actually is in the garden. She's in the garden, and then she hears some singing, and she finds Laurent in the forest with his guitar singing some... This is weird. This was weird. Laurent tells her, sometimes I like to write kids' songs. I figured one day I could have a special during church called Silly Songs with Laurent. And apparently it's gay people that are grooming the kids.
Well, sort of, kind of.
Then in the forest, they get to fucking, they start humping on each other. And this is the first time that there's no vegetables involved. Then we get a pretty heated exchange between Robert and Emily, Robert's trying to not speak to her because he's going to turn into a tomato if he does. But what could only happen in a cartoon, Emily's hat flies off and lands in a tree, and she's climbing up the tree, and Robert sees it from the window, and he goes and he like yells at her. He's like really rude, which I get, I guess. I would be pretty pissed off if every time I talk to somebody, I turn into a tomato. But during this interaction, Emily drops a freaking bomb. She says to Robert, I know you love him just as much, if not more, than he loves you. You can hide it all you want, but if you hold it inside much longer, you will do something you regret. Robert's response to this is to kiss her. He kisses Emily and then bites her so hard that she bleeds. And if that ain't goated with the sauce, 6'7" Riz, I don't know what the hell I don't know. I don't know what any of that means. Emily then thinks, and I gotta agree with her, my haven has turned into an impossible labyrinth. This whole situation is just so complicated. I don't know. Like, reason isn't really a thing here. They could leave. Any one of them could just be like, wait, there's like a door and a road and a bus. It's also only been like 3 or 4 days. Oh, also Gail is on vacation. You remember I mentioned the parish administrator, Helen Mirren? Gail situation. Emily got there, Gail introduced herself, and then I guess just left to go to fucking Puerto Vallarta or some shit. She's just gone. Like, so Emily, she's having all of these conflicting feelings and thoughts. And you know, when she got there, she was low-key like, maybe I'm become religious. You know those boxes where the priest sits on one side and the little boy sits on the other side, and the priest is like, don't tell your parents about us. Sorry, not funny. Not funny. She goes into one of those, but she thinks it's empty. And she's basically just like, fuck, like my life sucks. Like, what am I going to do? And then Robert is in there on the other side, and he leaves his side, opens her door, and as shit goes down. I'm left alone. God, do I feel good. But at the same time, I'm more confused than ever. What have I done? What does this make me? I used to float, now I just folded. So then the morning after, Emily calls Robert and Laurent for breakfast. They all sit down, start eating their porridge and, toast with the jam and honey, and then they start to and as they're doing this, Gail comes home. I want to reiterate too, we do not know where Gail was. I'm thinking it's been about 5 or 6 days, and poor Gail, mind you, it's the morning too. Her ass was definitely on a red eye. She's been traveling all night. She's exhausted. Opens the door. But since Gail is an op, she tells on them and they get fired, and Robert decides that he's gonna become a monk and go live at a monastery. When Robert tells Laurent this news, Laurent finally confesses his love and he says, "Robert, I love you! Don't do this to me. I love you. I will love you no matter what form you take. Man, priest, tomato. Even in death, my heart will beat for you. And there's nothing you can do about it."
I mean, let me ask the audience.
But Robert is out the door on the midnight train to Seattle, or wherever the fuck he's going. Then Emily thinks the first thing that I've agreed with this entire book. She says, I should be euthanized. But instead of doing that, she decides that she's going to become a nun. All because on her second day at a new job, she saw a cucumber. But while she's picturing this new life at the nunnery, Jeffrey comes back. Emily sees the boils. She hears the laugh. I got a pretty good witch's laugh. Huh? She puts 2 and 2 together and she says, holy shit, you're the one that put the curse on Robert and Laurent. Also, Jeffrey, I'm a big fan. Can I please get a picture? Jeffrey then explains this curse to Emily, and unsurprisingly, it makes absolutely no fucking sense. You 3 are destined for each other, cut from the same cloth. The universe wants you 3 together, and this was how they chose to bring you to each other. They turn into vegetables whenever the 3 of you are together, and at least one of you admits your desires to yourself, while the other denies their true feelings.
You ain't making no fucking sense. Exactly.
Emily learns that the only way for them to stop turning into vegetables is if they admit their love for each other. Then you can live in your true forms. So the night before Robert is going to leave to the monastery to become a monk, he's packing his bags, he's getting ready, he's got his castration appointment ready and everything. Monks are eunuchs, right? Or is that propaganda? Monk propaganda. Am I spreading monk propaganda that they chop their balls off? Let me know. He has been real mean to Emily and he feels like he's got to apologize. So he goes to her bedroom door, but he bumps into Laurent. Shit. Emily opens the door like that. They turn into vegetables. Emily then confesses her love to them, saying, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow or the next day or where this crazy life will take us. But I know if I don't tell you both this, then I'll regret it for the rest of my life. I love you too. Mind you, she's talking to a cucumber and a tomato. So in his tomato form, Robert realizes that he is poly. And they turn back into their human forms. And with Gail in the bedroom next to hers, they like animals. There's like a 15-page sex scene that I just skimmed through, and the entire time I was just thinking, poor Gail. So then Emily, Robert, and Laurent run off together and they start, you guessed it, a tomato and cucumber farm. It ends with this like really graphic double scene. And that's just the end of the book. So I just want to say thanks for watching. Thank you for I gotta go. I'm not fucking gay. Fuck you.